And welcome everybody live to the AllertonAv.com Game of the Year Awards as we're going through the best moment of gaming in 2016. And man, it's such a particular thing, a personal thing.
Yes.
For the best moment in gaming. So we're going to try and break it down to one that we unanimously.
Because this is like, this encompasses games, experiences we've had with games.
Yes.
It doesn't have to just be a moment of a video game. It could be anything around the games on the site.
Yes.
So, do you want to just go through the list real quick here?
Fuck,
oh my god, there's like 45 things.
Because we all have these like crazy different things.
Yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing. Is like for best moments, it's a very, very unique
Oh
thing.
my god, that's so great.
And it's almost like you can't say, hey, dude, this is your best. Like, this is the best moment you need to experience.
You asked everybody on the staff. It was funny that a couple of them did overlap, though, which I thought was kind of interesting. So we'll see what happens there.
So we got...
let's start at the bottom.
Let's start at the bottom, if you will. Summoning Ramuh in Final Fantasy 15, dropping the big hammer guy from the top of the sky, dude.
That was sweet.
And wiping out maps. We have Hitman's elusive targets throughout the year, dude. Gary Busey, can I just say, taking out Gary
really
Busey.
Good. That was really good.
Who didn't have fun taking out Busey?
Calling
in a Titan.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to.
Calling in a Titan in Titanfall 2.
That was me. And I still think there's something about calling it in that gets you.
That is pretty cool.
All right.
It was
cool
3 years ago, and it's still cool.
It's because it is a unique feeling to call it in and be like...
Drop it and then slide it.
But unfortunately, the rest of the game doesn't hold up, so...
The opening sequence to Final Fantasy 15, a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah.
While a couple of guys are sweating and pushing a car along.
Yeah.
That is just so engaging.
And like the banter that they started, it gave you so much like hype to the game that like you felt like, oh, I want to hang out with these guys.
For that minute.
The Divisions
set pieces.
Seeing them for the first time.
Yeah. The first time.
Describe one of the Division set pieces that got you for me, for everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the subway one was the coolest one. When you're going down, not the subway itself, I can't think of the stage. But
Lexington
event is pretty sweet too. But no, there's the one where you go down, it's the, where you, at the end you repower the Times Square. But you go down that tunnel, and you go through the subway, and like, these bombs start going off, and like, the ceiling collapses, and you have to start going these different ways, and... It just like the environments were so cool and all the stuff that was happening was just like so cool and it happened throughout the game.
Going into the stadium.
In the stadium, yeah.
The
and then like just like going up when you're upstairs and you look down and you see where you were just
see the bodies and like the stuff that you just killed.
The helicopter gun, like when a dude shoots down the helicopter at the top of the medical center. Like yeah, there's just like a lot of these like cool moments. The first time you play. That you're just like, oh man, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not 100 times later.
Yeah. Exactly.
Encountering people, talking about Division, the first encounter in the Dark Zone, when you first encounner someone, the adrenaline that goes through your body.
Because you're so scared because
just being in the Dark Zone when you first walk in and you're like, yeah, like it's so tense in there.
Because you know what's about to fucking happen.
All right.
But you don't know. That's the thing. Like, are they going to shoot me or not?
You could die. Or you could survive and steal their shit. Final boss of Gears of War 4.
No, who put that on there?
I did.
I hate that boss so much.
What?
Because then I was like, oh, the game's over. Spoilers, by the way, here, but that boss sucked. The one with the big fans?
Where you use the fan to take him down?
Oh my god, terrible.
Oh, that was
terrible.
Epic. That was probably the best boss fight in a game.
I actually took an entire point off my review score because of that.
Oh my god, you're insane, dude.
Different strokes for different folks.
Oh shit, dude. What are you stroking, dude? People accidentally lose. Oh, we had it in a moment at E3.
One of my favorite things ever.
So you guys know the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer came out. 39 million people saw it. 3 million people downvoted it. 500,000 people upvoted it. And this was 3 months prior to E3. We get to E3. PlayStation is showing off their newest games that are coming out.
We're in the theater.
We're in the theater. All right, we're surrounded by, everyone in the business is, there, and the people who have been writing articles and shitting on this game.
Us.
We're
there.
Are watching this trailer, and there's no HUD, so there's nothing to give away, like that you can tell what game it is, and it starts doing it like a playable cinematic scene where you first get your robot, and then you go out into space, and you jump on the spaceship, and then you like put a bomb on the front of the window, and you blow the window out, and people are thinking, dude, is this Mass Effect? You hear mumblings of like all this, what game is this?
Everybody's like, dude, what's going on? I look over at you, and I'm like, do you know what this is yet?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not sure, but it's feeling Call of Duty.
Yeah,
but it's like, so like, and all of a sudden people are just like, holy shit, yeah, and then dude, and people are like talking, and it's like
things are happening, things are blowing up, there's spaceships,
and people are getting
like,
fucking
holy shit,
excited.
Did Sony have a new IP?
Yes, and people are, the word is, and then all of a sudden the Call of Duty Infinite War, and it's fucking dead.
Pin drop. People are like,
we just got had.
What?
How did I just shit on this game so hard? And it's this. It could be this cool, but that was a moment that I will never forget because
there's that girl like 2 rows off that's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I was like, "Yes, yes."
When everyone just
as she's tweeting new IP, blah blah blah, like it's so beautiful.
Scratch that. It's
trying to get the news out first, and you.
The crazy back and forth jump sequence in Titanfall.
Cause and effect stage.
Yes, cause
and effect stage where you're going through timelines in Titanfall 2, and if you haven't played
that, need to play
that is the stage of the fucking year, dude.
Yeah, it's unbelievably memorable.
Wow, that they can actually
love it.
You go on one side, you kill something, you come back, and there could be a corpse there that's like been dead for however long the timeline has been. It's so weird, and it's instantaneous, and you're fighting here, fighting there, and it's like back and forth. It's fucking mind-blowing.
It's
amazing
cool.
Stage.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to keep that on there.
Losing, dude, spending time. We gotta go through these. There's like 50 of them.
What about catching a Pikachu in Pokemon Go?
Catching a Pikachu in Pokemon Go.
Well, everyone on the site didn't hit, like, people were not finding a Pikachu.
I didn't.
We were doing recording the block.
I actually got my first Pikachu.
Tristan hadn't found one, and then all of a sudden I found one, and I was like, "What's up, bitches? I got 3 Pikachus at my McDonald's."
Yeah.
And I was really excited. I thought it was pretty cool. But
I couldn't catch anything in the bathroom, so I didn't play that game.
That's the only.
There were no Pokemon in my bathroom.
That's a sad.
Your first play of the game in Overwatch, losing your teammate that you built in XCOM 2.
Oh, that is.
That's so sad. It's been sad since XCOM 1.
And the moment before, because the moment before you lose them is shotgun to the face, 99%.
Yeah.
Boom, you miss.
Chad,
you know what's gonna happen.
The RNG drives him nuts. XCOM 2 is your first XCOM experience.
And you're hoping so much it happens to them on the next turn, and
it never does.
They always do.
It's always you with the shotgun.
Oh.
It's always the shotgun with the 99%. It makes no sense.
The final 15 minutes of Inside.
Oh my god, it's probably. I think I praised it on the block party multiple weeks on that. It's in my review. I was all about it. It's just like that game builds and builds and builds, and it's such a good game. But the final 15 minutes of that game take a crazy left, and the way it plays out with like the music and the art is just. It's gonna stick with me for the rest of my life. And I think I finished it, and I was like, this was one of the best sequences I've ever had in a video game. And I don't want to spoil it too much because if you haven't played that game, it's a really short game, but. You're just going through this environment, and it just it breaks the barrier of what you thought the game was and what you kind of were thinking the game was going to be, and then what it is, and you're just like, your mind is blown for a hot second, and it's so fucking cool. And there's this great physics situation going on that's actually technically really amazing. So it's like visually amazing, technically amazing, has great sound, and you can never forget it. So I really think that's going to be in the top 3 for sure. For me.
Sounds like it's sticking around. I've not played this game, but Jason's making a good argument.
I love it so much.
And then the last one for me that I blew my mind this year, I got a chance to try VR for the first time. And a game that, wasn't just a shitbox, the heist game. And I was blown away by it, man. It was just one of those things where I didn't expect it to be at that level yet. It's still got a long way to go. But, okay. So that VR for the first time, we got a list 40 deep, dude. We got to kill it, dude. How do we define what was the best moment?
I think we can start to knock things off. We could knock off the summoning,
elusive targets.
We could knock off the elusive targets. They were fun, but they're not the best. We could knock off the opening of Final Fantasy, maybe. I think one of the divisions can stay for the moment. Is it the set pieces or the dark zone?
The dark zone, dude.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the opening to Final Fantasy? Does that hold up to? That doesn't hold up to VR for me. There's like no way that's ever gonna win.
I was actually really surprised that you guys both thought the opening was good, and maybe I
didn't vote for it in the
I
initial
got
ballot,
off
but
of
Toby convinced me.
What game did I just play where it was? I played a game where the opening sequence was just like shit going on everywhere, and then I played Final Fantasy.
And I think that's part of it too.
Oh
Is like
God,
that's what
dude.
made it so memorable. Is it was so different. Like it's just.
Plus, I'd also
But we
heard
all
that song.
we saw it. We already saw it so many
Yeah.
times, so which kind of takes away. But I don't want to. Like I remember seeing that moment. I'm like, that looks cool, and I don't want to take away from having it spoiled. But I can. It doesn't sound.
I'm taking XCOM off because it's been in previous XCOMs and it's awesome.
But if you've never experienced an XCOM game before, XCOM 2, spend at least 20 minutes making a guy and then go into battle.
We didn't talk about play the game in Overwatch, but that was actually really fun. The first time you got to play the game, or you get to play the game,
felt like a badass.
you feel so cool.
Yeah.
And it's just
Because
like,
everybody's stuck watching you whoop their ass. Hopefully, sometimes you're like, that's play of the game.
Yeah.
But-
Yes.
But like, there's sometimes where you like, and even in the like gameplay, like there's so much going on that you did something cool, but you couldn't see it, or like it's so much going on that you couldn't really enjoy it.
man,
And there's something about like when
That's
you
really
know
cool.
you did something really good,
Yeah.
and like sometimes you're like waiting for it, and then like when it finally comes up though, and you're like, that was me.
Yes, it's their
Yeah.
pride.
Sit
dude.
there, and you all watch me kick your ass.
maybe that has to stay because that sounds actually really awesome.
Yeah.
Superhot, when you do a hot move in Superhot where you shoot somebody, where you just throw your sword,
The one
teleport to their body, grab your sword, turn, slice another guy in half, then throw the sword somewhere else, punch them, take a gun, and you feel like you're an action hero.
That game's not like. That's not the best moment. That game is like best moments. Just
Period. That
Constantly.
game, super hot. Like it shouldn't just be, but like feeling like a badass.
Yeah, it's just-
It's
be
just super hot.
Yeah,
Moment
it's
of the
just
game,
like-
playing super hot.
everything in that. The only thing that drives me nuts is that it fucking flashes super hot across your awesome move.
Super
You gotta
hot,
go into edit
super
mode.
hot, super hot.
like to
I'm just
watch
gonna do
it.
that the rest of the time.
Oh,
We're gonna
Super
cut it.
hot.
I'll fucking
Super
burn
hot.
it, dude.
Super hot.
Let's see. What else can we
Play
get rid
the
of,
game.
dude? What are we down to? We're down to play the game.
We have a lot. The COD thing at E3, people losing their
It's-
shit. We loved it. It was so much fun at E3 to talk
It
about
wasn't really
it.
a moment in
report back.
gaming.
Yeah.
It
was a
wasn't.
moment in gaming history.
I would take Inside's moment over Titanfall's.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Titanfall is just
That back and jump sequence?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's awesome. But if you're also on board with the Titanfall thing, I can keep
go
that.
ahead.
I feel like Jason's argument for that one just.
I'm telling you, I talked about it nonstop for like 2 weeks after that. Like, go read my review on allertonapp.com. I talk about it even more there. Man, this is really hard.
So what do we got?
We got VR. You know what? I think using VR for the first time was way more transformative for me than the end of Inside. So I would knock Inside out for me.
Well,
with VR on the list.
yeah, like for me, it's probably I'm really, really tossed between the VR experience and the emotion I felt in the Dark Zone for the first time because it was a game I invested in, and getting to that point and walking through that door and encountering someone, I don't know.
But here's the
And it
thing,
was-
though,
and it
with
was-
the Dark Zone. For me, that's something that other games have done in the past. There has been a situation where you played a game where there's PvP, right? And you're going to die and you're going to lose your shit.
Not quite to that level because
Yeah.
like I mean that's
But
the
there's
thing
been
is-
permadeath in MMOs before where you can die and lose your shit. You can play Diablo all the way through, and one enemy could kill you after 2 hours, and that would give you the same. Like, if
But
you
there's
played Diablo for 30
there's
hours
this
with
different
permadeath,
feel when
you
you
feel
go
the
into
same
the
thing.
Dark Zone, and because you see these other people, and that's the thing, you don't know.
Yeah,
You don't know if they're going to
it's
kill you or not.
It's like
I've had people go in there with me, help me beat a boss, help me I've had them help me mow out rogue targets to extract stuff, only to have them turn around and shoot me.
That's exactly what I would do every
and
single
take
time.
my stuff. And
I
it's
would do it every
and that's
time.
what I
but
mean.
it's like
though,
you
is
thought you bonded.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Like, there's
but no,
this-
like I always knew in the Dark Zone, if I go in the Dark Zone, someone's
gonna be the dick.
someone's gonna fuck me over.
Yeah.
But
like,
you
it's
don't
good.
know who, and that's kind of the.
You just know everybody. Everybody's gonna do it. Don't you just assume like when you
Yeah.
go in there that
But
everybody's
I've
gonna do it?
had it happen many times where it wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
like
that person's
that
an
last one,
idiot.
yeah.
Yeah. And,
So what are we left with, guys?
I think we're really left to that in VR. I think those are the two most compelling cases. The Overwatch thing, actually, I could keep in play. That would be number 3.
I would stick with Overwatch as my number 1 in this list.
Wow.
For what we.
I have to say VR, and I am
I didn't
impressed.
feel the same about VR as.
Yeah, you're not sold on VR yet. You may never will. You may
I
never
mean,
be.
the first time I put
Unfortunately.
VR on at CES a couple years ago, I remember being like, guys, this is actually really cool. And then when we finally got to play an actual gaming experience, I was like, this is the future of games. It's not there yet, obviously, but once people learn how to do it, it's going to be amazing. And I can never take back that first time I used it, and I felt like this year when I felt it at E3 when I used the PSVR, and I was like, I want more games like this.
I used VR for, I can't really say last year. I used it for the first time today, and I already forgot what my first moment was. So
Oh. That's
that
because
was like 4 hours ago. So take that for what it's worth.
But even Chad was a skeptic, and I remember him leading E3 being like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah, I
It's
was
just
not
really
on
neat.
board
Like,
with it.
you're just in a different world. And like Resident Evil, there's nothing that's felt like it before. So for me, you guys can sway me to something. I would never be swayed to play the game in Overwatch over VR. But there might be other things on this list you guys can sway me for.
It would only be the 15 minutes of Inside, and I don't think I'm going to fight for that.
Yeah.
And like Dark Zone, and I don't
No,
think, I don't
I'm
think-
over the Dark Zone. Just the kind of conversation around the Dark Zone took me out of it.
I mean,
I'm left with the VR experience, dude. I can't take that away, dude. I'm actually going to go out and pick up a PlayStation VR as soon as I fucking possibly can. Because playing Pinball FX, I'm a fucking huge pinball fan, and seeing the table in real life and duck around it, and like, I want to slap it, but I can't because it's fucking my ball up. Like, and just like the experience you get, and just like in these worlds, they're not like super stunning, but man, like the textures and stuff can almost make you feel like you're there.
it's a different thing.
And especially for me, a huge skeptic going into it, and I got switched. I was dude, just using the VR.
It's the next evolution of video games or entertainment.
It'll
It's
never
either
be my
gonna
best
one of the
moment
two.
again.
We're gonna have like the augmented stuff on our cars and in real life, and then we're gonna go home and we're gonna have the Star Trek: The Next Generation shit where we're like, in some other
Dude,
world. That's where we're heading.
When
Yeah,
Star
but
Trek
we
comes
can
out.
skip the headsets and just do that now. Let's just get
But you can't.
get Helmet Suites and be done with it.
I mean, this is where this is
That's
leading.
right. I know what it's called.
This is where we're leading. Like,
See,
we're going.
and
That's why
I
it's
just
so neat because we're so early and it's fun and it's.
I felt so disconnected with VR because, like I said before, it's either on rails or it's just a enhanced first person view for me. Like there's a lot of disconnect when you're using the controller, and there's a lot of there's so many limitations when you're using the move controllers, and
But
I
that's
don't know.
one form of VR. Like there's third-person games where you can control it. You're like looking over the top, and you're doing strat. You could imagine playing Total War in VR would be fucking mind-blowing. To be able to like move your characters almost like they're these little miniature things, and you're like lording over this battlefield.
That's the HoloLens,
I think
dude.
that would be
and
amazing.
I mean I can see that it'd be similar to playing like the tabletop game at that point, and I mean it would be cool, but is it game changing? No.
But
I mean,
It's the biggest game changer we've had since
Virtual Boy.
yeah.
It's nothing like Virtual Boy.
It's not, but I mean Virtual Boy was really like 20 years ago, and yes, it was
All
red.
Virtual Boy was a viewfinder with a screen in front of it. It was not virtual reality.
So the best moment of the year for 2016 was using VR for the first time, our first experience with it. But it might not be your best moment, and it might not be everybody's.
It's the hardest
it's
one
the
to really,
sights.
and I agree with VR because it has had such an impact on so many people, so I can't deny that. So
So best moment for AlexandApp.com, using VR for the first time. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the Game of the Year Awards. And if you want to see more personal favorites of the year, make sure you check out our top 7 later on this week on AlexandApp.com. Check out our YouTube videos for more Game of the Year moments on youtube.com/AlexandAppLive. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Toby, for joining us. We'll see you guys later on.
Bye, everybody.
all right, there, Letterman. Nice. Nice.
I love that it's stuck in the wall, dude.
That is the that.